Welcome to Safe Again, a mind-body-soul reset for the phobia tired. Module 3, Facing the Fear, Gradual Exposure and Confronting Your Phobia. Thank you for being here. We'll be starting on time. My name's Julie and I'll be leading today's module. If you have any questions, feel free to hold on to them and I'll answer them at the end. This is a safe space, so do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Keep your camera on or off, grab a glass of water, take a break if needed. No pressure, just take what you need. As Elizabeth Gilbert said, fear is always triggered by creativity, because creativity asks you to enter realms of uncertain outcome. Phobias often form when fear takes root and grows wild, shaping how we see the world, limiting what feels possible. But today, we're taking a gentle step towards understanding that fear, so it no longer makes the rules. Let's begin. Module 3, Facing the Fear, Gradual Exposure and Confronting Your Phobia. Let me share with you a story, an ancient metaphor that still echoes meaning today. For more than 40 years after the fall of Jerusalem, the Jewish people were still in exile, displaced, grieving, and stripped of hope. Their city had been destroyed in 586 BCE by the Babylonians, and many had been taken far from their home. Every year, the idea of returning to their homeland felt more impossible. Their dreams of rebuilding what had been lost began to fade. Self-pity replaced hope. Exile wasn't just physical, it had become emotional, spiritual, and deeply internal. And then came the voice of Isaiah. Sing, O heavens, and be joyful, O earth. Break forth into singing, O mountains, for the Lord hath comforted his people. Isaiah didn't ignore their suffering. He didn't deny the reality of what they had lost, but he did invite them to change what they were seeing in their minds. He said, visualize your return to Jerusalem. See the walls before your eyes. Act as though they're already rebuilt. Keep them before your mind's eye always. This wasn't just poetry, it was a form of inner rehearsal, the call to use imagery as a way to restore faith and direction. As history tells us, they did return. Around 538 BCE, the Persian king Cyrus allowed them to go back. The walls were rebuilt. Isaiah's message is just as relevant now, regardless of your background, beliefs, or where you come from. If you're facing fear or feeling stuck in your own kind of exile, his words offer something powerful: vision, comfort, and forward motion. You don't have to leap into fear, just begin with imagery. Imagine yourself one step beyond the fear, safe, calm, smiling. Picture it often. Make the image clear, vibrant, and present tense. Let it become familiar in your mind and body before you ever physically take that step, because the magic of gradual exposure is not about being fearless, it's about rebuilding brick by brick. A small image becomes steady with thought, and a steady thought becomes a gentle action, and a gentle action becomes a breakthrough. Imagery isn't wishful thinking, it's groundwork. Daydreams drift, but imagery motivates. Imagery prepares your subconscious for the reality you're creating. So if you're afraid of an elevator, imagine pressing the button with a steady hand. If you're afraid of a dog, picture calmly watching one wagging its tail in the park. You're not rushing, you're rehearsing. You're building the inner walls first, just like Isaiah suggested, and in time you'll find the exile ends. And the walls within you, they begin to rise strong, steady, towards freedom. Why am I even talking to you about this? 1, because your fear isn't silly. The reaction you're having is real. Your nervous system's trying to protect you. But phobias often hit the panic button when there's no true danger. You deserve better than being hijacked by false alarms. 2, because phobias distort reality. Over time, fear can shape your thoughts, your habits, even your body's response, making everyday situations seem like threats. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain's just running an outdated safety program. 3, because you deserve freedom. You don't have to live on high alert. Reclaiming your calm doesn't mean ignoring fear. It means gently retraining your mind and body so you can move through life with more ease, confidence, and choice. What does well-being really mean to you? And how do you get there without joining a fear cult or buying prepper gear off some weird live stream? Let's break it down. Phobias in the mind, mental clarity. How often do you want to be clear-headed instead of spiraling because you saw one spider in the bathtub and now you're Googling fatal bite symptoms? Emotional health. How do you want to feel calm, joyful, and at peace, not just temporarily soothed by avoiding lifts, elevators, or, God forbid, public toilets? Physical health. What kind of energy do you want? Because panic attacks and constant dread are seriously draining, like listening to a 3-hour podcast on conspiracy theories. Exhausting. Resilience. How well do you want to handle life's curveballs? Standing next to someone wearing a Make Anxiety a Great Again t-shirt at your local grocery store. Life satisfaction. What would it feel like to live fully, freely, and not have your social calendar dictated by your phobias as a no-go zone? Choosing your path. What are you really buying into? Every day you make choices. Avoid the fear or get curious about it. Hide discomfort or face it. Buy into personal growth or accidentally join a Facebook group that thinks elevators are government tracking pods. Not all advice is equal. Doctors, therapists, and clinical hypnotherapists, solid, evidence-based. Boring is the best way. Random influencers who tell you just to breathe while waving crystals over your aura? Maybe not. Ask yourself, does this advice really match the future you want, or just validate the fear you've been living with? Is the source credible, or does it give cult vibes? Will this make your life bigger, or just smaller and more safety bubble wrapped? So let's bring it back to you. Get clear. What do you really want your life to feel like mentally, emotionally, physically? Because investing in your well-being doesn't mean pretending fear isn't there. It means learning to see it, name it, and shrink it until it stops running the show. Not with shame, not with panic, but with curiosity, calm. You're not joining a movement, you're returning to yourself. You are way more trustworthy than fear ever was. About me, I'm Julie, a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, and a life coach. I specialize in working with the conscious and subconscious mind to help you unlock your true potential. I'm here to help you navigate the choices that shape your life and give you the tools to choose a path that truly supports your growth, whether you're dealing with phobia or just looking to level up your life. I'm here to guide you through it. How to shrink a phobia. Make it distant, make it dumb. Let's talk about what's actually running the show behind the scenes, your subconscious mind. And right now, without you even thinking about it, your body's breathing, blinking, digesting lunch, and probably plotting its next snack. All happening on autopilot. Magic, right? Picture this, if you spent all day thinking about the Ritz, the Plaza, or some dreamy 5-star hotel, what do you reckon would happen? You'd probably end up planning a holiday you can't afford, fluffy robes, room service, the whole fantasy. Why? Because your brain believes what you focus on. Even if you're not actually there, your mind starts sending feel-good signals like, yep, pack the bags, we're off, and we're vibing in full holiday mode. Chemicals, emotions, everything, all just from a thought. And that same brain magic, it happens with phobias too. Only instead of cocktails and sunsets, your mind's replaying a spider, a lift, a plane, or whatever your brain's decided what was terrifying over and over, in color, HD, probably with traumatic music. But here's the hack. You don't need to face your fear all at once. You just need to make it look ridiculous. Try this. Make the image black and white, shrink it down, put it across the room, play it in slow-mo like a weird security replay camera. Add down music or a voiceover of your least favorite TikToker. Imagine it's a trailer for the worst holiday ever. Welcome to Panic Island. No food, no Wi-Fi, just phobia. See what we're doing? You're changing the vibe. And that matters because your brain responds to what you see, hear, and feel internally. So if you shift the story, the fear can't keep running the show. It can't keep running the same tired loop. The goal isn't to be fearless, it's to break the pattern, to make the fear smaller, funnier, and honestly, kind of cringe. Because once your brain stops buying the drama, your body calms down too, and that's where the real shift begins. What are we really talking about here when it comes to phobias? Let's break it down. The phobia isn't the problem. It's how your brain responds to it that keeps you stuck. Right now, even when you're thinking about that thing, elevators, flying, spiders, public speaking, whatever, your mind goes into overdrive. Heart racing, worst case scenarios playing on loop. Hollywood horror soundtrack kicks in and boom, you're there, fight, flight, freeze, or nope. And here's the thing, running away from it every time, that's like setting your GPS to avoid growth and permanent detour. Feels good in the moment, sure, but what happens when you miss the job interview on the 10th floor, or you can't get on the aeroplane for a trip of a lifetime, or you skip another wedding because, yep, there might be a dog there? Avoidance is a short-term win that creates long-term limits. Let's be real, avoiding lifts and elevators feels like relief until you're sweating it out on the stairs during a blackout. Dodging parks feels safe until you realize you're designing your entire life around someone else's golden retriever. Bailing on speaking gigs feels like a clever escape until your career stalls and your confidence flatlines. The phobia might scream danger, danger, but your future self is quietly asking, hey, are we really going to live like this forever? So before you hit that fear button into overdrive again, hit pause, ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like next year? Who do I want to be when this fear is calling the shots? What tiny shift can I make today to turn the volume down? Because here's the truth. Phobia is just a mental glitch in your wiring. It's loud, dramatic, and not that bright. You've got the power to update the system, not all at once, but step by step, scene by scene, choice by choice. And trust me, your future self will high-five you for starting now. What is the Fast Phobia Technique? The Fast Phobia Technique is a powerful method used to help people overcome intense fears or phobias in a short amount of time. It works by reprogramming the way your mind processes those fearful images, allowing you to detach from the emotional charge tied to those memories. The technique has been used in clinical hypnotherapy for years and is particularly effective in reducing the emotional intensity of phobias. In a moment, we're going to use a safe double disassociation approach to begin. This means that you'll be able to distance yourself from your fear and observe it at a much safer, more neutral space, helping you feel completely in control. It's like watching yourself on a screen from a distance, which allows your mind to process the experience in a calm and controlled way. You don't need to do anything at all if you're not ready yet. Just sit back, relax, and listen. If you feel comfortable, you can follow along, but there's no pressure to dive in straight away. We're taking one step at a time. So whenever you're ready, let's begin. All right, take a moment to settle in your chair, and I want you to relax and start breathing slowly in and out. Now I want you to imagine yourself in a stadium, but here's the twist, you're not sitting in the stadium. In fact, you're sitting far away, so far in fact that you're in another state. Imagine you're sitting in a small seat in a massive stadium so far away that you're tiny, almost like a speck. In front of you is a huge screen, like a big TV, and on that screen you can see yourself sitting in the chair right now. You're looking at yourself, but you're so far away that you almost feel like you're watching someone else, someone on TV. The scene is distant, you're tiny, you're just a little dot in an enormous stadium looking at yourself on the screen. You see yourself in the chair, but you're not feeling anything, you're just observing. Everything looks much smaller from this, far away, and you can see yourself in a much bigger context. Now Notice how this feels. From this distance, you see yourself experiencing whatever triggers your phobia, but you're not in the experience. You're just observing, watching from a safe, detached space. As you sit there looking at the screen, everything feels a little less intense, right? The feelings are still there, but now they're just happening to someone far away. You don't need to feel the same way anymore. Now, take it a step further. Imagine that the screen is slowly getting smaller, the image of you on it getting even further away until you can hardly make out the details. The whole thing starts to fade into the background. The intensity of the fear that you used to feel almost becomes invisible. How does that feel now? Much more intense, right? The fear, the situation, is just something happening to someone on a small screen in a far-off stadium. It's not real to you anymore. Now, let's go one step deeper. What if you could watch the version of yourself on that screen handling the fear calmly? Imagine seeing yourself dealing with whatever the situation is with complete confidence and calm. The fear feels much smaller now because you're watching someone handle it, not experiencing it yourself. With each breath, let that sense of calm grow. You're not in the situation. You're not the fear. You're simply an observer. You're watching the person in that stadium take control, and with every breath, the situation on the screen becomes smaller and smaller until it's barely a flicker in the distance. And when you're ready, take a moment to let that feeling of calm and detachment sink in, knowing that you are the one in control. You can step away, watch the situation from a safe distance, and feel at peace. What just happened? The beauty of this technique is that it gives you the space to observe the fear from a safe distance. Like watching someone on TV, you separate yourself from the emotion, reducing its power, and over time, this will help you feel less controlled by your phobia and more in control of how you respond. Just like watching a distant image on the screen, your fear becomes less impactful and easier to manage. How to find the strength you've been looking for. When it comes to dealing with phobias or obsessive thoughts, the way you engage with the rituals plays a crucial role in reducing its power over time. If you notice an obsession creeping in, one simple way to break the pattern is by changing the tone or how you approach it. For example, Dr. Reid Wilson tells his patients, instead of urgently thinking, "Oh no, how am I ever going to get through this?" try singing it instead. Sing your worries. Turning them into a silly song can make it feel ridiculous and completely disrupt the urgency of the obsession. Another great tactic is to write it down. Keep a notepad with you and jot down every obsessive thought that arises. It's not about organizing or analyzing the thoughts, but simply about shifting the mode of communication from thinking to writing. This small shift breaks the automatic cycle and weakens its grip the obsession has on you. By committing to writing down intrusive thoughts, you're taking back control. You now have the choice to either write them down or let them go. The decision itself shifts. The power dynamic is in your favor. It's not about struggling to stop the thoughts, but creating space on how to choose when you engage with them. By using these strategies, postponing the obsession, singing or writing them down, you're actively disrupting the ritual. The ultimate goal is to engage in the mental health process with faith, trusting the discomfort is temporary and continue moving forward without giving in to the ritual. Now let's take a moment for a guided hypnosis session to help you deepen the process of disruption, help your mind and body relax. You don't need to close your eyes unless it feels right for you. Just allow yourself to tune out the outside world for a moment, gently tuning inward. If you're not quite ready or this isn't your thing, that's completely okay. You can still benefit by listening with an open heart. This track is called Freedom from Obsession. It's designed to softly remind your nervous system that it's okay to relax, you are safe now, healing's already happening, and the future holds light. So if you're ready, let's begin. Take a moment to settle in, whether you're sitting, lying down. Just get comfortable. There's no need to close your eyes unless it feels right for you. But go ahead and gently shift your focus inward, tuning the outside world out around you. And as you begin to relax, take a slow, deep breath in and then slowly exhale, letting it go. With each breath, feel your body becoming more relaxed, more at ease. Each breath is an invitation to let go, to release. And as you continue to breathe slowly, just allow yourself to become aware of how your body's feeling. Notice any areas where there might be tension, perhaps in your shoulders, in your jaw. Just observe with each breath. Imagine releasing that tension, letting it go, letting it melt away. Now I want you to imagine yourself standing in front of a mirror. This isn't just any mirror. It's one that reflects the energy of your mind. It's a mirror that shows you how you're feeling, your thoughts, your emotions, and in that mirror you can see a version of you. This version of you might be feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or even anxious about the phobia or obsession, but here's the trick. You're watching it from a distance, not involved in the feelings, but just observing. Take a moment to step back and imagine you're in a huge stadium, sitting far away like a tiny speck. You can still see yourself in the mirror, but you're far enough away that it feels like you're watching someone else. You're no longer in the middle of it at all. You're a quiet observer, distant and calm, and as you look at the reflection of yourself, notice how the obsession or the phobia you're seeing feels. What does it look like? How does it react? Watch it closely and know it has no power over you right now. You're in complete control, looking at it from a safe distance. Now imagine something strange happens. You start to notice the obsession or phobia gets smaller and smaller, shrinking in the reflection. The more you observe it from this distance, the more absurd it feels. It seems so exaggerated now, so over the top that it becomes almost comical. And it's almost like you can see it as a tiny shadow, smaller than ever seen before. And as you keep observing it, you can't help but smile, because the power it once had over you is fading, becoming less important, less significant. It's almost funny now, isn't it? And as you smile, you can feel yourself becoming more and more at ease, more relaxed. And as you choose to let go of this obsession, you decide in this moment that it no longer has the power to dictate your thoughts or emotions. And as you smile, you can feel yourself becoming more and more at ease, more and more relaxed as you choose to let go of that obsession. You decide that this moment no longer has the power to dictate your thoughts or emotions. Take a moment to remind yourself you have the power to step back at any time. When the obsession or phobia tries to reappear, you can observe it from a distance, laugh at it, and choose to move on. You know that it doesn't control you. You can let it go. And now, as you feel this newfound sense of freedom, take another breath in, slowly exhale, releasing any remnants of tension. You feel lighter, freer, as if you're just letting go of something heavy. Know that from this moment on, you have a new way of engaging with your phobia, your obsession. The next time it arises, you can step back and look back from a distance and decide it no longer holds the power over you. In fact, each time you face it, it becomes easier to observe, to laugh it off and let go. You are in control. You are free. So as you breathe in deeply once again and begin to bring your awareness back to the present moment, know that this calm, powerful feeling stays with you. You are strong now, more in control and ready to handle whatever comes your way. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, bringing with you this sense of freedom and peace. Thank you for being fully present and opening yourself up today. As you may already feel, the hypnosis session has gently guided you to a space of deep inner calm and healing. Having already experienced that shift, we mark the completion of Module 3, Facing the Fear, Gradual Exposure, and Confronting Your Phobia. I'm excited to continue this journey with you. Over the next few days, we'll explore a series of 5 transformative modules designed to deepen your healing and empower your inner self. Module 1, what is this fear? Module 2, Fear and Reality. Module 3, Facing the Fear. Module 4, Calm in the Storm, Managing Anxiety and Physical Reactions. Module 5, Rewriting Your Fear, Shifting Your Imagination from Catastrophe to Empowerment. Each module builds on the progress we've made today. While you may still carry the subtle echoes of the hypnotic state, know that these sessions will guide you further into healing, helping you understand, release, and ultimately transform the challenges you face. Thank you for taking this brave step, and I look forward to joining you on this continuous journey of growth and empowerment.